the whole kind of concept for the second album is that every single note, every single drum hit, every single sound that you hear on the album was programmed by me from scratch, and I've actually got the source code, and I might even print some of that off like liner notes or something, but it's just almost like bespoke music. Every single note has been programmed by hand by me, and it's a very, very bizarre situation to be in, to have such kind of individually sounding sounds. Between now and the end of the first album, there's been quite a bizarre kind of enlightenment, if you like. Okay, what I'm going to do today is take apart this wonderful, beautiful ZX Spectrum. It's 48K. What I'm going to do to it today is basically give it a composite video signal. If you know, the ZX Spectrum has quite a very fuzzy video output, so I'm actually going to take that out and put in a composite lead, so it can go to like a SCART block and give you a crystal clear picture. The other thing I'm going to do is put in a phono lead for the audio out. Again, that can go into a SCART block. And the last thing I'm going to do is take apart this old joystick interface. Now, this interface doesn't actually work with this machine, but what it does have is this wonderful, beautifully intact edge connector, which basically connects into the back of the ZX Spectrum. Now, what I'm going to use this edge connector for is I'm actually going to make it connect to a board, which should allow me to write to a EEPROM and load up software directly into the memory as soon as it's switched on. Because one of the faults with this actual Spectrum is that it won't actually load any software via a cassette, so it's kind of useless at the moment. But if I can make this connect to an EEPROM, then I can load software instantly. Also, the other thing I'm intending to do with this edge connector on the board is to hopefully, possibly, make the ZX Spectrum MIDI compatible. If you are a bit squeamish about seeing old computers taken apart, I would look away now. Yeah, this is actually the RF unit, and what I've done is basically dislocated a vast majority of its wiring, so I can just quickly wire in one direct little wire and it'll give me a nice crisp, clear composite video signal. When you see how simple it is to make something better, like for this instance the video signal on the Spectrum, you often wonder why they didn't do it in the 80s. Okay, we've got the Spectrum put back together. Going to connect power and the composite lead and have a check, and sure as day there's a crystal clear SCART connection from my Spectrum. What I've done here is take the edge connector off the old Spectrum interface I've had and rewired it so that way I can use a standard 28 pin DIL for an EEPROM and try out new software on it. It's based on the old type of interface. I've actually taken, you know, the pin readouts of all this cartridge input and the expansion port input, and was able to piece it all together. I just had this arrived this morning off eBay, and I'm very excited if it is what I think it is. What we have here is a ZX Spectrum Plus 2. Now, although Apple Mac 512K was the first computer I ever used to program on, the Spectrum Plus 2 was the first computer that I ever wrote my own full operating programs on, so it's quite a treat to have one again after about 18 or so years. So can't wait to get it open. It does look in absolutely immaculate condition, so I'm quite excited about it. It's an old tape loading cassette mechanism. Oh, I love it. Recently I just finished a project called the MusicTech ZX. It was after finding a book in the local bookshop that I decided to go back and program the AY chip of a ZX Spectrum. It's an English computer that wasn't really released that widely in America. Okay, what we have here is the ZX Spectrum loading screen. Just go into that, we can load up the program. The program itself is actually written in BASIC, and you see it's a very basic language, but it can do some pretty cool things. And I'll just run the program for you. Okay, by using the keys 5, 6, 7, 8, you can move up and down and change the variables on the various things to create different types of sound. Look at that. And once you've designed the sound, you press 2, you can go into player mode and use the keys on the keyboard to play little melodies with, and obviously you sample that and you can piece together your own songs. It's actually one of my favourite settings, a kind of reverse kind of let's have a so there's lots of different hidden sounds on the Spectrum, and put in some special effects.